Is it just too much trouble to celebrate your accomplishments? Why is it that women have such a hard time celebrating their accomplishments? You know what I'm talking about. You got promoted, or you're up for a promotion right now, but you might cringe at the idea of celebrating your success. In fact, you may be able to imagine it, but then when it actually happens, you feel like, oh, okay, let's just not even pay any attention to that accomplishment. You might even get passed over for a promotion, or you may miss out on a client or something big in your life because you will not fully embrace your own hard work and your incredible accomplishments. So here's my message to you. You need to stop. You need to stop, and you need to get clear on, what the hell am I doing? Why am I working so hard if I just want to work hard and not get any sort of accomplishment in terms of how I feel, in terms of perhaps elevating what I do? Like, what is it that I'm allowing to hold me back? So we need women to celebrate accomplishment of each other. That's another sore spot, because we can sound like it, rah, rah, good for you. But deep down inside, when we haven't been celebrating ourselves, it's really hard to be genuine when you're celebrating another person. So I'm here. My name is Tracy Crossley. I'm a behavioral expert and an author and a podcast host, and many other things. But I'm also the game changer for women leaders looking to reinvent how they live and lead from the inside out. And I'm serious about the inside out. Okay, so I'm talking about how we obviously have a little bit of an issue here when it comes to our ability to celebrate our accomplishments. It doesn't mean you're going to throw yourself a big party. I mean, we're not usually going to do that, right? Unless, hey, I won an Academy Award. But even then, okay? And I know this because I have talked to people who are like, yeah, you can win all the awards in the world, and yet you may have to shine on stage to other people. But inside, you feel all the shame and all the feelings that are unresolved of everything you've ever done wrong and how you might feel you don't deserve it, okay? So I think for most of us, we tend to look at other people and figure out, oh, they're not going to accept what I have done. Like in my own experience, you know, I have had a very, very difficult time accepting my accomplishments. And when I say that, like, I can think about whenever I would work, you know, on something, and whether it was personal or professional, and I would put all this energy into it, I just never ever felt comfortable resting on my laurels. And I always felt like I was going to fall down. I didn't want people to notice my achievement, even though while I was working hard, you know, and trying to get there, all I could think about was, oh my God, when I get there, it's going to be amazing. But then it would happen, and then I would feel all of the feelings that were nothing to do with an accomplishment. They were the opposite. It was feeling bad because I feared people would have new expectations of me. I feared I'd let other people down. And I didn't want to be seen as oversharing, right? I wanted to appear humble. And I didn't want other people to look at me differently, because then I wouldn't be part of the group. Like, I had so many reasons as to why, and guess what? It all had to do with other people. So, 3 reasons why we're afraid of celebrating our own accomplishments. Number 1 is kind of what I've alluded to in my own life, but we don't want to ever be the greedy bitch. The greedy bitch. Yes. We will take too much for ourselves and not leave anything for anybody else, right? Somehow, some way, we actually believe that that's some kind of truth. That is built in scarcity, okay? When you have an abundant mindset, there's enough for everybody. And there seriously is, because you stop looking at everything as though it's a problem, okay? For you to have to solve and accomplish, right? So you can earn the right to breathe. And it's really not that. It's really about shifting that focus away, but we don't, right? Society, okay, you know what? You can only have so much. You can't have too much. And that's in the back of our minds. And it's that voice that just stays there, right? What is another reason we're afraid to celebrate our accomplishments? What if we fail? what if after this accomplishment, I totally fall flat on my face and people go, oh my God, I can't believe that you accomplished anything before. You're such a loser, or whatever the horrible speech is that's in your brain. Yeah, that one. That, my friend, is a problem, because again, it's your inner critic. It's that inner dictator who's just basically being a dictator or a dick, right? And it just will not stop talking and telling you, you can't do this because you're going to fail at some point. You're going to fail. You're going to make a mistake. Oh God, people are going to think you're such an idiot. So, leading me to the third reason, which is we're afraid if we're too successful, we accomplish too much, nobody's going to like us. They're going to find reasons to not like us. Now you are unlikable. You're okay when you're mediocre. You're okay when you're a doormat. You're okay if you're not somebody who another person might feel competition with. And here's the thing, you are not responsible for how other people feel about what you do, by the way, because you can't be, because you're not in their head. We can't climb into someone else's brain and control it. So you have to look at how much this controls your ability to celebrate yourself, okay? We need to celebrate what we do and what is inside of us that puts us in this place of resisting our accomplishments, okay? Like me, I used to feel like I had to keep building on these accomplishments, like constantly. It was ridiculous. And I would rather, keep my accomplishments, like I said, under the radar. Let me just kind of stay quiet with it. Nobody needs to notice. And when people would, I would be so embarrassed, which is really about, self-absorption. That's really what it's about. Self-absorption is what happens when we cannot celebrate ourselves. When we're so afraid that someone's going to find out we're successful or we're good at something that we've done. It's kind of crazy, but a lot of us do this to ourselves if we're willing to admit it. A lot of us won't even admit this stuff out loud, right? So, what happens when we don't celebrate our accomplishments beyond what I'm saying? Well, we shortchange other women leaders and we shortchange ourselves, because we're never going to get to an unlimited space of being a leader. Being a leader to me is about being able to be unlimited. Otherwise, you're just repeating the same crap that's already been done. You want to set new horizons. You want to go on a new path. As a leader, that's your job. So if you're already shortchanging yourself, how far are you going to go? How far can you go? You really can't go as far as you could if you changed your thinking, if you moved out of resistance. We cannot reach, that's another thing, we cannot reach our full potential. You're not going to. This is it. You've said right here, right here, here's the ceiling. You're right here. You're not, doing this here, okay? I'm messing my hair up. Anyway, that is a problem. And the other problem is you can't, again, celebrate other women because you're not celebrating yourself. So you're just being a fake and a phony if you're celebrating them and you can't celebrate you. That's coming from your way of, let's say, compartmentalizing things, right? Compartmentalizing your emotions so that you can be a chameleon and you can show up the right way. I'm the good friend. I'm a good peer. Oh, look at me. Yeah. I'm doing the right thing. Well, for other people. But when it comes to yourself, you're not. So it's not really genuine. It's not authentic if you can't do it for yourself. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Well, only way to own your accomplishment is to step into it and celebrate yourself. Acknowledge, accept, and celebrate. It's hard to do, but when you do it and you feel a sense of resistance, and what I mean by resistance, just so you guys know, it's not just a thought of I'm resisting this. The resistance is a feeling. Like you might feel like you're hitting a wall. I always feel like my torso is hitting a wall when I feel resistance, or my stomach might get tight, or my throat might get tight. Feel those sensations. That's resistance. Start connecting to these signs. They're like billboards inside of you telling you what is going on inside of you. So you want to do that, and you want to be able to break a pattern, because breaking a pattern of this kind of behavior that stands in your way as a leader is, I think, paramount, again, to being an abundant, unlimited leader. So when you stop limiting yourself, you will be there for others to stop limiting themselves. And this is the bottom line. It is uncomfortable to do something new. If it wasn't, then you'd just be doing the same thing. That's your signpost. Uncomfortable, doing something. Comfortable, doing nothing. Okay? So you want to look at how you're going to feel 1,000 times better when you do something that's slightly uncomfortable. So challenge yourself to celebrate. It doesn't mean like being all fake and like, woohoo, look at me. If it's not fake, great. But if it is fake, that's a problem. So I hope you found this video helpful, and I want you to be sure to click the subscribe button and to stay informed when a new video of mine is released. And also, we're talking about the inner dictator today. So I did a download. It's a free download, and you can go ahead and download it for free, and it's going to give you some tips on how you can deal with your inner dictator, and that's going to come in handy when it comes to you celebrating your accomplishments. Take care.